in 1997, some friends and I started our own company and started in the services business and telecommunications, kind of grew it up into a day two maintenance kind of services oriented business. And we grew it to about 3 million in contract run rate, and another company called Converge came in and purchased us. And they asked me to stay on and kind of grow and run their maintenance and managed services business. And we were addressing the symptoms by throwing people at it, right? So we would have a problem or a fire, and we would throw a firefighter at it to satisfy the customer in that moment versus addressing the problem. So we were definitely treating the symptoms and not the problem itself. So, I had looked and searched and was part of a thing called the Brain Trust and met Bill Schwartz in the CEO Alliance. And, we internally had some conversations and he showed me through some things, a better way to do things, right? How to be more proactive versus reactive in the way we ran our organization. And through several meetings and iterations, I kind of got on board with the process, read the book, The Generative Way, was really moved by that, and met with Bill. We determined to take my leadership team up to Sawtee, and we really had a inspired and transformative weekend up there. That we identified a lot of the trouble areas, got a lot off our chest, decided and got buy-in from my entire management team to change our organization, to change our culture in the way we approach the business. So in the tracking, just to give you an idea of how effective these things were, right, was on a year-over-year basis. I drove 17, the project team, the project and redoing it drove 17% increase in EBITDA year over year, right? So we added about 1.3 million to the EBITDA line through these processes, right? So we showed incredible cost reduction. We reduced our cost by almost 10%. At the same time, we were growing our revenue. So that just resulted in incredible growth to the bottom line. So, really have to say that we had tangible results from this as well. And I would say what made us successful, right, was learning the tools to do these things, to become generative, more proactive than reactive, and understanding that as a leader, and the leadership team needed to set a vision, right, that you could align the team around. The commitment from the company to invest in the culture change was extremely important. The partnership between IT and the various business leaders, and then of course the business sponsors that we needed inside, and then dividing the project up into manageable pieces and milestones, and then the executive visibility and focus, and just having that rigor of project meetings that we're going to get these things done. We had to be very nimble and very fast, but at the same time we had to document these things for our company so that we could create. So we can create. We created a controlled and sustainable model for long-term growth, and it seems to be doing quite well. The company continues to grow, and the contract base continues to grow. So that just we reduced 10% of our costs because we became more efficient. We were able to do more with the same amount of people or less. It was really quite impressive, and the morale of the whole team, because they felt like they weren't doing meaningless or pointless work or having the conflict between the departments. The morale of the entire employee base increased, and of course happy employees are more productive than unhappy employees. So that really helped as well. We became a place, before we started the process, we did an employee satisfaction survey, and I would say over half of our employees were unsatisfied with their environment in some way. And we, a year later, we did it, and over 80% are now satisfied, right, with their work. So it was really quite a dramatic culture change. Not only in our processes, right, but the people themselves changed because they were happy to be there. They were, and as employee satisfaction was on the rise, customer satisfaction also rose. Efforts we spent on conference calls, dealing with problems and issues, freed up, and we became more creative and expanded our offerings with additional services. Expanded our offerings with additional technologies. So we went from one major telecommunication technology now to all the major players in the telecommunication community. So we've expanded quite well, put in some new offerings. And honestly, over the last several years, we have not increased our staff by that much. Because of the efficiencies we've seen and continue to apply, we can do more with the same amount, or the growth path of people has expanded, so they can do more themselves.